What up, y'all? It is your boy, the one and only A Switch, back at it again. AKA, I'm gonna call you right back. I won't call back though. AKA, I'm gonna just, I swear I'm gonna call you back. I swear. I ain't gonna call you back though. I really ain't gonna call you back. AKA, I'ma just block you. I'm just block you real quick. I'm bringing you yet another episode of Switch's Sights, specifically episode 17. This is the show podcast where I exclusively talk about gaming and culture related to gaming and all that entails, with some occasional nerdy mixed in there, depending, But yeah, so welcome to episode 17. Today's date is August 8th, 2019. So boy, a lot of news came out this past week, well, since the last episode. These damn shootings, a lot of EVO stuff. Man, it's a lot to get into, so let's not dilly-dally any further. Let's get into it. So yeah, the first thing I guess we'll address, even though this is so stupid and annoying, is the controversy, with the unfortunate shootings that happened over this past weekend. Condolences to all of the victims of the shooting and the lives that were lost. So of course any shooting related issue or matter, of course, the first thing people want to blame is video games, violent video games to be specific, because in theory, because you technically emulate killing people and shooting people nonsensically. Was that a word? I'll pretend it's a word. With reckless abandon, games like Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat, somewhat gratifying violence. People are, of course, quick to assume, oh, well, I mean, it's got to be games. It can't be the person themselves just not being right in the head, or it cannot be just a personal problem with the individual. It has to be games that encourages this behavior, which is just the dumbest, tone-deaf thing or conclusion to even come to. And obviously it's non-millennials that automatically would like to assume this stuff, which is just irritating and dumb. This is just stop it. Why don't we work on gun control more than just being quick to blame video games as the catalyst of violence? Because if anything, and I'm not even gonna go too much into this because this is just so stupid. If anything, it probably does the actual opposite in terms of suppress any maybe would be tendencies to be violent or what have you. It is an outlet to let release a lot of that pent up, or in some cases pent up anger or resentment or something. So if anything, I honestly think it's way even more positive than negative, as being perceived amongst obviously non-millennials that never touched a controller in their life. So that's all I'm gonna say about that, because this is just so dumb. You are so dumb. Okay, you know who you are. Just stop it. It's not the games, it's the gun control. Let's work on that. All right, let's work on gun control rather than blaming video games, obviously, clearly. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, I'm done talking about that because that's just frustratingly annoying. Either way. Oh, and then you hear this mess about Walmart freaking like, oh well now we're not gonna we're gonna refrain from violent ads because of this travesty, because clearly games are to blame, which is totally false and incorrect, irrelevant. And what is that gonna solve? Nothing. What is that gonna do? Nothing. So I'm done with that. Dumbass. Just tone deaf, man. Just so tone deaf. Jesus, do better. Do your research. Do better. Okay. God. All right, so next thing in news. So apparently the ESA, which I believe is the company that pretty much works with the E3 organization, or is actually the E3 organization, I want to say. Either way, they're closely knit together. But yeah, I believe, yeah, so the ESA hosts the E3 conference. So apparently there was a data leak that pretty much revealed over 2,000 journalists and analysts personal information, pretty much, contact information, email, phone number, and address, that's kind of crazy when you think about it. Kind of scary that, all this information is revealed to a lot of, some very potentially, there's a lot of trolls out there that like to take things too far. Obviously, with a lot of the swatting that's been happening, and maybe for those that may not possibly know what swatting is basically when a troll, asshole, whatever you want to call it, basically will call or report to your local police department and say there's a bomb threat, which obviously will get the police department's attention. They'll storm a particular said person's address, and in some cases it can be really scary. Something happens, a hand slips, and somebody's life could be unintentionally taken because somebody thought it was just a funny joke to bring funny little prank just to bring the police and just cause distress. It's very sad. Fortunately, I haven't really heard much about those lately, so thank God for that. Finally, people are learning that you can't be taking that mess too far. So, but yeah, man, I mean, especially some of these, I'm assuming a fair amount of these people do stream, and are obviously in the public eye. So that's kind of messed up. But the ESA did release a statement regarding the issue and said that the issue was a quote unquote website vulnerability, which doesn't really justify anything, but either way, ESA was made aware of a website vulnerability that led to the contact list of registered journalists attending E3 being made public. Once notified, we immediately took steps to protect the data and shut down the site, which is no longer available. We regret this sick occurrence and have put measures in place to ensure it will not happen again. ESA. Well. That is that's messed up. That is messed up. Yeah. Oh boy. But yeah, at least in terms of recommendations of, preventative actions against all this is obviously, one, definitely for them to change their phone number, and two, to set up multi-factor authentication, because damn well all that's going to be coming like crazy at you. This was from Steve Bolin on Twitter. I'm looking at a particular article by Derek of Dykes within Reset Era regarding this whole ordeal. So messed up, man. Messed up. Hopefully the ESA makes it up in some way, because I mean, technically they're at fault because they had all that personal information and they just willingly, well, not willingly, but had a obvious vulnerability. So, I forgot, content creators were included too. So that's maybe YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and stuff like that. So, boy, that's kind of messed up. Kinda messed up. Just saying. Either way. Hey. Moving on. Obviously this past weekend was the greatness, or the championships of championships, the NBA playoffs, the Super Bowl of fighting games, which was EVO 2019. So a lot of interesting news did come out. At least I like to touch on at least some of the competitive or matches in general. I specifically watched pretty much all of the Tekken semifinals and finals, and man, boy, that was some good ass Tekken. Let me tell you. It was a good ass Tekken. Dudes was doing them Korean dashes left and right. People was getting low parried like crazy. Not really. But yeah, man. It was some good ass Tekken. Good ass Tekken. I saw a little bit of Smash, but I don't know. I lost interest in Smash in terms of from a spectating standpoint. I don't know. Just something about Smash, it doesn't fascinate me when you're spectating it. I don't know. I don't feel like it's not really that fun to watch. But I don't know. Maybe it was the mindset I was in, or maybe I was Tekkened out. I guess you could say I was Tekkened out. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Gotta keep a dad joke jar. Gotta pay every time I make a dad joke. But yeah, some good ass Tekken. I missed pretty much all the other tournaments. I watched a little bit on Friday, but pretty much when I caught on, pretty much everything was pretty much ending anyway. So, but nonetheless, it was I have to say, it was some pretty good ass Tekken though. I was rooting for Lil Majin. Unfortunately, man, he was so close to hitting top 8 again. But unfortunately, I forgot who he got beat by. Darn it doesn't come to me. But man, good stuff, Lil Majin. He was putting in that work with King of all people, getting them grabs. He was doing it. I wanted him to do the one hit. I forgot what you call it, like a critical hit, or basically pretty much majority of the Tekken characters have that one move that will take like 75% of your health away or something like that, which was his. I forgot what it was called. Maybe they patched it, I don't know. But either way, yeah, then ultimately, I guess a story worth mentioning in particular was obviously the champion of EVO, Arslan Ash, who he had a pretty interesting story. He basically came from Pakistan to compete. He struggled so much to actually come to EVO, and man, that's a great like success story if I ever heard of any. I personally didn't even know about a lot of this until after the fact. But man, he was beating people up, man. He was man, he just like glided to victory of winning the championship. I believe he also won EVO Japan as well, in Tekken also. So that's crazy, man. I want to say he might be one of the first to win twice in a row. Well, at least EVO Japan championship as well as a EVO championship. But man, yeah, with Tekken, also another note within Tekken 7 had like the highest player count of entrants specifically. For Tekken, I know Smash, I think technically maybe had the most, at least for this Evo. I'm not sure if it was the greatest of all time, but that's pretty impressive to have. Tekken feels like it's back in its prime, man. I totally agree. It's definitely my favorite fighting game. If I had to choose any, it's just way more accessible. Easier to grasp, pretty much all of the above, really. So, but yeah, pretty great stuff. So big ups to Arslan Ash for winning the championship. It was a close battle towards the end where it was him and Nee, who's clearly an established Tekken fighter himself. So but congrats to him, man. That was a great success story, if any, just coming from pretty much the low of the low all the way to the top. That is if that ain't success, I don't know what is. But yeah, pretty much outside of that, that's pretty much what I got out of EVO. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was some good ass Tekken, and interestingly, there was a lot of stuff that did happen as well outside of that. Some controversies as well as some great, pretty good announcements too, which I'll go over. I think the first thing I want to cover is, man, boy, if this was a flop, boy, man, this was a pretty big mistake if I would call any. Specifically in terms of, I believe it was the match, the semifinals. Pretty much after that was over, basically after that was over, there was this random video that had Snake say, "That was some good ass Tekken." So obviously, you could see that was just a bad choice overall. In terms of clearly, EVO 2019, the biggest tournament where, a lot of games are revealed, announcements are revealed, and, clearly with no announcements recently regarding Tekken, people were like quick to assume like, oh, so Snake is going to be a DLC for Tekken? That's got to be it. It has to be. Basically, after the fact, we did find out that basically this was just a gag on, not related to anybody from Bandai Namco. It was some, I guess, general weird gag, which probably would have flew at like a smaller tournament where, that's not known for announcing new announcements. But in this case, one of the biggest shows ever, even though it wasn't streamed, they didn't show that gag. It was somewhat referenced to and kind of hinted at based off the footage when it happened. But in general, it was pretty damn weird. But I was like, oh, really? I mean, I clearly I won't cure you, which unfortunately didn't happen, but there's still hope, which I'll go into in a little bit. But yeah, and then David Hayter, pretty much the original voice actor for Solid Snake, he was not pleased at all. He was like, Evo, I swear to God, you better tell me if you're gonna use my damn voice. You hear me? Do you hear me? That's my David Hayter. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Actually, I'm curious. I want to do the codec.
This is not a snake. That's some good ass tagging. Yeah. Metal Gear.
Actually, that's not pretty bad. That's pretty good. Well, I'm satisfied with that. But yeah, David Hayter, man, he was pissed. He went off on Twitter, man. I guess you could tell the heat he was having. Like, I guess it was apparently a Cameo video where basically, for those that may not know, Cameo is like a service that lets, I would argue maybe BCD us list celebrities to earn money by saying happy birthday John, stuff like that, which in this case David Hayter, I believe it was maybe in passing, and then it was a little whoopsie daisy. But yeah, Harada, I think, confirmed, I think right after when he was announcing his stuff that that we didn't have no leaks, so clearly whatever they showed was not good. Bandai Namco was freaking out. Well, not necessarily freaking out, but in a PR way, they're like, we are not very pleased with what they did, so it wasn't us. Nowhere. And then now it's this whole zeitgeist of like, well, come on, well, why don't we have Snake in this then, and stuff like that, which is I feel bad for just Namco, because it's funny. So Harada came on a stage and he's like, don't ask me for so, yeah, that was interesting. But I guess piggybacking off that in general, actually, let me check the thread marks of, okay, so we have Harada's response. So Harada, well, I don't, it's just straight up Japanese. Straight up Japanese. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it's translated. So, explaining this to Japanese, EVO deliberately shows a short clip of me and Snake having short conversation. Oh, that was Harada in the clip too. Oh boy, yeah, that is not a good look at. Wow, that makes it even worse than what I thought. Oh boy, yeah, that's not a good look. But yeah, so EVO deliberately shows a short clip of me and Snake having short conversation to the viewers in the arena. Didn't show up on stream during the break period after the finals. After the clip was shown, Bandai Namco protest against EVO, and it was found that the clip was made solely by EVO. There are also other clips that we didn't have any knowledge of. So then in another tweet, he said, EVO have apologized to us and tweeted an explanation on their Twitter. From this clip, there were many people that had high expectation and people that were mad because there aren't any official announcement afterwards. For me, I especially feel sorry for both Konami and Kojima-san, even though we didn't do anything wrong. So, since the Tekken Finals was hype and the Season 3 announcement after went well, it was whatever, but this somehow made me think the time I met Kojima-san at PAX Seattle, which he said people mistaken me for you. That is racist. That's kind of racist. Harada-san and Kojima-san are two different people, but I digress. So, yeah. So, and then David Hayter, let me quote his comment. Oh, he got the caps lock on. he had the caps lock on. You know it was serious when he had the caps lock on. But so first thing is in all caps, EVO. You also failed to consult me. Please do not use my voice to promote other games ever. DH. I don't know what DH stands for. Oh, David Hayter, duh. Well, I just, today's not my day. But yeah, man, you know he mean business when he got the caps out. Had the caps out. Had the caps out. He was serious. But on better news in terms of that, oh yeah, I forgot to, let me address their response, EVO's response, word for word. So, EVO responded shortly after everything was over. Just to clear things up, the Snake cameo video that was showed during Tekken Finals was our idea of a little joke. It was not intended to imply a character reveal and was done on our own without consulting Bandai Namco. Sorry for any confusion. Yeah, that was just not a smart decision. Why would you do that at clearly the biggest tournament for fighting games, which obviously has had the clear history of making a lot of big fighting game related announcements, and to do a tease like that during the show was just, yeah, it's very bad taste. I really want to know who really like conjured this up and thought this was a good idea, because clearly it was somebody specifically that had this mindset that was like, yeah, this is gonna work, yeah, this is gonna nobody's gonna care, I mean, that's just a bad decision overall. Either way, on to better news. During that announce, or during pretty much after the finals were over, Harada-san came out. he made a joke towards the leak, the Street Fighter V leak that I went over last episode, where basically he said, sorry, Yoshio Ono, I forgot his name verbatim, but the producer for Street Fighter, Yoshinori Ono, I believe, he said, we're sorry for the lag in Soul Calibur 6. And then he just walked away and like, oh, come on. And then especially, you got that false Snake teaser going behind him too, that just make things just worse. And then he came back and he's like, oh yeah, Tekken Tour is back, and then left again. And they're like, okay, are you guys ready? Are you ready? And then they rolled the trailer, and then they revealed season 3 of Tekken 7. So with this season, according to the trailer, there is going to be all new moves for pretty much basically every character. On top of that, they revealed some new characters, or not new characters, but new characters to Tekken 7, which was Zafina. I believe she was from Tekken 6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think Tekken 6. Yeah. Or maybe she was exclusive to Tekken Tag. No, I don't think there's a legitimate new character in Tekken Tag Tournament. So I think she's from Tekken 6, I believe. So I know a fair amount of people really wanted her back. But apparently she's not going to be in the story in any way. She's going to be just a character that's there, which I think they did for some of the DLC characters as well. I can't recall off the top of my head who actually was. And even more importantly, man, they revealed a new character. Well, not another new character, a new character, which was my nigga Leroy Smith. This dude is just oozing greatness. Okay, dude. At first, I thought it was he was about to come and help out Negan because he looked just like King Ezekiel from The Walking Dead. So I was like, what? I thought he was gonna say some slick stuff like, Negan, you need a hand. I don't know. Well, no, King Ezekiel doesn't talk like that. His accent is more not holy, but royalty like, if you will. I'm not sure of the proper term for it, but either way, my nigga Leroy Smith, he just oozes real nigga, you know. I'm just gonna say it. He just oozes real nigga. They gave him like a brief backstory in the trailer. Like 50 years ago, he was from Brooklyn and his parents got killed or something like that, and now he just magically is in the Tekken universe. So he seems to be a deviation off of who's the one character from the previous Tekkens? I want to say he was in Tekken 5, not 4, and I'm pretty sure Tekken Tag. Wang. Yeah. Wang. I'm thinking Fang, but Wang. So he was he was fucking up that damn that dummy. I don't know what you call it, but basically the wooden stand with sticks poking out to practice your I guess presumably Wang Chung. I believe that's the highly implied fighting style he's gonna have. But man, he was beating the brakes off all them youngins because dude looks a little old. But he was beating the brakes off them youngins, you know. So, but man, yeah, as soon as he comes out, I want to play him because he looks pretty dope. He looks pretty dope. Pretty damn dope. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied with Tekken 7. I was suspecting that, considering the game is doing great overall. I mean, still being pretty relevant in the competitive scene, as well as just being a pretty enjoyable game, fighting game in general, which I can totally vouch for. So I think this is technically the best Tekken has done since Tekken 3, I want to say. I think from sales, competitive standpoint, overall. So I mean, why wouldn't you continue that, you know, success there? So I'm all for it. I love this dude, my nigga Leroy Smith. A lot of people are kind of, at least what I'm heard in the grapevine, are having a lot of fan theories about, like, you know, Leroy Smith is actually Bruce Leroy from Enter the Dragon, the Hidden Dragon, the Last Dragon. Which I could totally see, man. If his ass gets the glow, I'm about to fucking lose it. Okay, fucking, they better not give him a show enough alternate skin with the Kanye glass. Don't do it. Don't you dare do it. Don't you dare do it, Harada. I swear to God, you gonna make me pass out. Don't do that. I mean, you can do it. I want it. I do want it. I want it so bad. Oh man, man, if they give it just the same weird 80s 90s effect too, I will lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Okay, I'm gonna lose my shit. But yeah, great reveal, great trailer. Unfortunately, was tarnished a little bit by the Metal Gear snafu, but nonetheless, I think it's still the trailer still held strong, because I think people weren't sure about us season 3. So very good news, at least in terms of the trailer. There's like 4 other characters left and one being a guest character. So I mean, Kiryu, there's still a chance. There's still a chance. So yeah. And who knows? They could pull a Soul Calibur and, you know, have an exclusive character for each platform. That'd be pretty cool. I could see them doing that. Maybe having Master Chief, probably Master Chief for Xbox, you know, with Infinite coming out somewhat reasonably soon. Yeah, clearly Kiryu for PlayStation, even though it's not like he doesn't seem to be clearly exclusive to PS4, since I guess he technically was on PC as well. But we've never seen him on Xbox at all, so not sure how that necessarily works or plays out, or if there is some exclusivity agreement with PlayStation to some extent. I don't know, or you know, console exclusivity, which you know, actually technically it'll be a related matter. I'll talk about later. But yeah, man, pretty awesome. Leroy, my nigga Leroy Smith. To see him walking around like some of the movies, you know, he doing good for the community and stuff, and he coming back in his hometown. Leroy Smith, how you doing, man? Leroy Smith, tell your mom I said hi. My nigga Leroy Smith. You gotta say it like that every time. It's only necessary. Clearly it's only necessary. But yeah, man, pretty excited for that. All the credit to Tekken 7. They totally deserve it. That game knocking it out the park. Just all the nice little changes they made have greatly improved just the overall, you know, enjoyability of the game, which I am totally down for. So moving on, in terms of related news, what was I saying there? Soul Calibur 6 also announced its DLC. I think I caught the last part of the finals, which is some pretty good Soul Calibur. I don't have the game yet. I plan to get it at some point, but I've always liked the Soul Calibur. I've been pretty dormant since 3? I think I had 4. I played 4 too. Never mind. So 4, but ever since then, I've not really played Soul Calibur since. But this one looks interesting enough to play. I played the demo or tech test, whatever you call it, when it was out at the time. But pretty much after all the finals was over, or no, I think it was the next day. But basically, they announced Cassandra DLC for Soul Calibur. That's coming August 5th, as well as season 2, with guest character Haomaru from Samurai Showdown, which is pretty good a surprise. What kind of left me a bit dumbfounded about the whole thing, though, is that he seems to be just like Mitsurugi from Soul Calibur, so I don't really see how that's gonna work, but I'm curious either way. That was just felt like a weird choice of, you know, all people, you just get a clone from the other game, even though I guess technically Mitsurugi deviated from Haomaru because he was first before Soul Calibur. I'm pretty certain about that. But I guess he's got to be different from him, because obviously that would take away from the appeal from him if he's just the same. But I digress. So pretty cool stuff. I'm interested to see who else will join the fray, and then I'll probably by then I'll be on board with Soul Calibur. Maybe the train might be too late. I'll at least play the story. Might get my ass whooped in online, but you know what? I'm gonna fight it though. I'm a fighter. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna keep fighting. All right. Don't give me Siegfried. Don't give me Siegfried with the drop kicks and the damn Give him the toe flip. I give him the toe flip. If you all right, you better stop. You better stop. But yeah, pretty cool news. If I had the choice, I'd choose some other characters, but all in all, pretty good cross promotion for Samurai Showdown, which I would assume is probably the lesser known game / popularity from a popularity standpoint too. So then in terms with that, they also revealed, I don't think they revealed all of the characters yet, but they did reveal pretty much all the characters coming in the season 1 pass. Or is this season 2? Yeah, no, this is the rest of season 1. And I don't think they revealed all the people from season 2. So, but pretty much it seemed like every month up until the end of this year, you got Rimuru, Shizumaru Hasame, Basara, Kazuki Kazama, and Wan Fu. So August, September, October, November, December. Probably should have said it next to their name, but whatever. You get the point. You get it. You picking up what I'm putting down. Also, of course, some patchwork that I'm not going to go into, character balances, quality of life improvements, all of that good stuff. But specifically, this is for Samurai Showdown. So pretty cool stuff. I played a fair amount with my roommate, and it was pretty good time. Pretty good time. I enjoyed it. I plan to get it. I know I got the DLC, which was free for a certain time, so now I feel obligated to get it anyway. So, let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of EVO related news. I mean, I didn't catch it, but I heard in passing at least Sonic Fox still putting in that work. I think he got second in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and with the long heated extended rivalry between him and Goichi. I believe I saw that Goichi was crying. He was elated that he finally beat Sonic Fox, and like some very credible respectable rivals, they hugged it out like, you did it, man. You going somewhere, man. But on top of that, freaking Sonic Fox then ended up winning Mortal Kombat 11. So it's like that dude is a god. And then of course, in usual Twitter fashion, he did tweet that I forgot what he said verbatim. He's like, I'm the champion of Mortal Kombat 11 and I'm queer. Get used to it. I'm a furry queer and get used to it. I'm totally paraphrasing, but in general, I get that, which I honestly highly respect that, because it's not easy to put yourself out there like that, and somebody of his stature in terms of just his prowess of fighting games in general. Clearly, he can pretty much back whatever he says up. So I mean, much respect to Sonic Fox. He is killing the game. So that was pretty interesting, at least to somewhat witness and kind of see outside of that. So it was a pretty good EVO. I wish part of me wanted to go. Just to, I probably would have wanted to compete at Tekken, would have probably got my ass whipped, but it would have been fun, at least. Would have been fun trying. Man, yeah, I totally should. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Yeah, so that was all of EVO, at least from my point of view. Pretty great, just great thing all around, man. Just greatness, Next in news, kind of harking back on what I said earlier about console exclusivity. It's been let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, so it's been hinted at, this is according to Festran in terms of a postal on a reset era. Basically, Death Stranding has supposedly been removed from the official PlayStation site list of exclusives. So what this obviously at least somewhat insinuates is that Death Stranding is not exclusive, or will at the very least be a timed exclusive. I think it's been somewhat semi-confirmed that it's also going to be on PC at some point. So if anything, it probably might be console exclusive to PlayStation 4. Kind of like Street Fighter 5, where it's console exclusive to PlayStation 4, but you can play on PC, which that seems the most likely, I would think, because it would still at least appease PlayStation, where it's still exclusive to console, console wise to the PlayStation, and not going on Xbox. But you can still, for PC players, they'll still technically be able to enjoy it if it's true. Technically, it's still in the rumor phase at this point, but I could see it. I could see the possibility of it. I think it was technically somewhat semi-confirmed in an interview with Kojima-san. I can't recall, but let's see. Oh yeah, prior to Sony's announcement that it was supposedly confirmed to be, it's gonna later come on PC after PS4. So interesting stuff. I mean, if anything, it still won't hurt Sony, because I mean, clearly from a console standpoint, it would still dominate over Xbox, and again, encourage people to either get a PlayStation or PC, which I don't think they technically necessarily compete directly against one another, which I think is maybe why Sony is fine with that. So interesting news either way. Interesting thing to think about and ponder on. So at least when we get that copy of Death Stranding, it don't say exclusively, well, technically it still would, because it'd be console exclusive too. Yeah, so maybe they will specify it's console. I forgot the terminology they used to insinuate that it's exclusive from a console standpoint or something like that. But either way, you get it. I think it's technically the same with Yakuza 2. Pretty much a fair amount of the Yakuza games have, after being released first on PlayStation 4, then going to PC players too. So cool stuff either way. Definitely, as a multi-platform gamer myself, I am all about multiple options. And you damn Skippy, I am gonna get both the PS4 and PC version. You out your damn mind if you think I'm not. Okay, I'm just letting you know right now, just in case there might be any confusion. All right. Okay. And piggybacking on PlayStation related news, it's been revealed that Days Gone is the best selling new IP of 2019 so far in the UK. So I think in general that's pretty substantial news for a game of like Days Gone that at least hasn't been, at least from what I've seen, been critically praised that much. And man, it's like right below Resident Evil 2. That is crazy. So just to give you some comparison, the best selling games of 2019 so far, of course, man, this still befuddles me to that day, which I'll go into a bit, is Grand Theft Auto 5 still at the top, FIFA 19 second, The Division 2 third, Red Dead Redemption 2 at 4, Resident Evil 2 at 5, and then Days Gone at 6, and then Rainbow Six Siege at 7, Black Ops at 8, Anthem at 9. Wow, I was surprised by Anthem, considering all the outcry there. And then Forza Horizon 4 at number 10. Specifically UK, mind you, still. So not sure about it. Well, I guess we'll cover America because I do have the MPDs, which I'll cover later. But yeah, that's pretty cool though. For Days Gone, I think the game could be definitely really great after, obviously getting all the reception from this game in terms of, issues that critics had and stuff like that. So clearly from a sales standpoint, they at least got that backing going. So they could definitely, hit it out the park with the sequel or the, imminent or apparent sequel. I would assume. I doubt it'll, especially being an exclusive IP to PlayStation and it's selling so well, even considering the critical, maybe subpar reception. So I think it's all good. It's gonna be all good for them. Yeah, I still gotta play it. I have it, but I play a little bit, but then other games came and then never got back to it. But I plan to probably have that be my next game I play after Judgment, which I'm still trudging through. But either way, good stuff. Good on Days Gone. I am a sucker for zombie related games, so I mean, I think maybe I'm just like those people that bought the hell out of it. So also what's been revealed today, that Gamescom, which is I believe the European conference for a lot of gaming related stuff, will be happening on August 19th. And this seems like honestly seems like the E3 that E3 should have had this past year. 2K, Activision, Bandai Namco, Bungie, Capcom, EA, Epic Games, Google Stadia, Koch Media, Deep Silver, Private Division, I've never heard of them, Sega, Square Enix, Sony, THQ Nordic, Ubisoft, Xbox Game Studios, and more. This was revealed from Jeff Keighley on Twitter. More than 15 game publishers will premiere new content and make announcements during Gamescom. Wow. Yeah, this is the E3 that should have been basically. I'm curious for the announcements, man. I'm curious. I want my socks knocked off. Okay. All right, Gamescom, you got a lot of pressure right now. You hyping everything up. You better not let me down. So best believe Monday I'm going to be glued to that TV. All right. No ifs, ands, or but about it. Okay. No misconceptions. Nothing. My eye is going to be on the TV, patiently waiting for Gamescom news. Also curious to see Google Stadia, what they got planned, what they got up their sleeve, what little dirty tricks they got. They're gonna start pulling epic moves and getting all these exclusivity deals. I don't know, but cool either way. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare, at least moving on from that. So for those that don't know, it has been confirmed that crossplay is going to be supported. So me on Xbox can play with somebody on PS4, PC, and all that. But they did reveal today that it will basically have smart integration of, not mixing the streams, if you will. So like, keyboard and mouse players who have a pretty established advantage over controller players on consoles won't be able to play in the same game. And they do have countermeasures for trying to swap out inputs mid-match as well. So that's pretty cool too. But I thought this was pretty cool in general, so yeah. And then I'll include the tidbit regarding this. So it's also worth noting that the PC version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare will have full crossplay with the PS4 and Xbox One. Man, that is so cool that this is becoming a reality. Let me stop gushing for a second. And multiplayer design director Joe Kicott delved into how exactly that will work with DualShockers. We're going to be matchmaking by peripheral. So if you have a keyboard player, you're going to play with other keyboard players. But if you're a console player and you're playing on a gamepad, you can actually opt in. We also don't let you change your controller peripheral mid-match. So once you have chosen it, it's locked in. So that's pretty cool. But man, I'm just gushing over the fact that, man, we're actually in this universe, for this reality where crossplay is becoming a thing, man. It's surreal. So now I don't have to worry about this disparity because, you know, majority of my friends are on PS4, and then it's like, I got an Xbox One X, which is technically slightly powerful than the PS4 Pro. So I don't really want to play on the PS4 Pro if I have an Xbox One X that has higher capabilities of doing so. So obviously, personally, I'm definitely going to go for the Xbox version in that case. And, you know, I always like the controller better in terms of first-person shooter control specifically. So, yeah, with all that said, I'm definitely going Xbox on this one. I think with this also, it's not going to be that dumb exclusivity. I think they squashed that as well, which I am totally behind, since, you know, maps are going to be free and all that. So, great news overall, man. I'm definitely all for it. And I like how they're handling mouse and keyboard support versus controllers. I think this is going to be a very great template, you know, for other games to follow. And man, you know, I hope this does become the theme, you know, of especially next generation in terms of consoles, that maybe is going to be established to be better crossplay support across consoles and stuff like that. I'm totally for it. Totally for it. So thought it was cool either way. So I guess piggybacking on because I love me some damn piggybacks. You know it. Destiny 2. Why? Destiny 2 cross save is launching August 21st. So for those that don't know, I want to say I announced or, you know, talked about this on a previous episode, but cross save is going to be supported. So man, this is so damn cool. So pretty much I could play on any platform I want, and then pretty much continue progress on whatever platform I go or deviate from or to. So what is really going to be cool for me is like, because I do consider myself a multi-platform user. Maybe I want to play with my friends on PS4, and then you know what, I'm feeling a little PC master racy today. And then let me play on on the PC and you know, get that full like mouse keyboard experience, maybe the 60 frames per second, you know, maybe 144 hertz one day, but at least for now, get that smooth 60 FPS experience on PC. And I could do that in basically with this being set up, which is cool. I've never started a game of Destiny. I think I've maybe played the trial of it once, but now with all these changes and, you know, Bungie being released from the shackles that is Activision, this is definitely gonna make me play at some point. I definitely want to check this out and see how cool and how streamlined the cross saving is going to be, because I'm definitely all for it. Then also, you know, the kind of the implementation of Google Stadia, I think is going to be cool. Like maybe if maybe I'm somewhere, I want to see what Zer got, what gear Zer be gotten on his trying to get one day. I could do that maybe more easily. Pretty much all in all, just seems to be just greatness, man. I really hope this is the theme for next generation: cross save and cross play. That's probably maybe one of my biggest wishes that we get next year, so you don't have the issues of being stuck to a platform because all your friends on it, maybe you don't really necessarily want to be on it, but then if you want more firepower, more juice, if you have the means to do so, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You have the luxury of playing on maybe the better console that will perform the game more to a better extent, while being able to chat and chill with your friends at the same time. I think that's pretty damn cool in general there. So great overall, man. Great overall. They also announced the Steam linking. So basically, since Destiny is no longer with Activision, they're gonna remove it from Battle.net and move it to Steam. I'm curious how that works for if you bought the game on Battle.net and moving it from PC, but it seems like they explain it here in terms of the description. So this is a resource for players who have been playing Destiny 2 on PC and will be moving with us to our new home on Steam. In keeping with the announcement from last week about our launch window, Destiny 2 will arrive on Steam for the first time on October 1st. Before that happens, on August 20th, you'll be invited to begin the process of linking your PC player accounts for a smooth transition of your Guardians and all of your game purchases. So it seems like they pretty much have it. Seems like they have a good plan in terms of making the transition smooth from Battle.net to Steam. So that's gonna be pretty cool. In all, and then I think technically it's gonna be free to play, at least pretty much all the content up until now or something like that, which is totally fair and reasonable, in terms of trying to mitigate the transition from Activision to themselves, and moving on platforms, at least from a PC standpoint, moving to Steam. But I'm assuming nothing's really affected on Xbox and PS4. But all in all, pretty cool stuff. I thought I had to mention it because it's just so appealing and so interesting that I definitely want to do it. I definitely would. I definitely will at some point. So let's get into, let's go into more sales news, specifically for Capcom. So apparently they received a $19 million one-off royalty deal from a company buying and licensing their IP, but they're refusing to answer details about it. So this is supposedly from David Gibson on Twitter. I believe he is, let me see here. I believe he's in a digital content business. So somehow he knew, he was aware of this to some extent. So this could open up a lot of possibilities. A part of me thinks it's going to be Google Stadia related, where they maybe cut some exclusivity deal for whatever said IP to be exclusive on Stadia. Because honestly, if Stadia is going to compete, they're definitely going to have some exclusivity of some sort to encourage people to try out their platform or jump on their platform in general. So I don't think it's Microsoft, even though that would be cool too. Out of the two, I'd prefer Microsoft personally. I thoroughly enjoyed, Dead Rising 3, Dead Rising 4 when it was, timed exclusive, and things like that. So For Google Stadia, I mean, that's probably what I would think it would more than likely be. I think to back that up too, with Capcom having announcement or announcements at Gamescom, they could probably be revealing that. Or I'm gonna take a bold guess here that maybe, you know, the game that's been in development hell for, you know, however long with the PlayStation, Deep Down, I believe, that actually comes out and is an exclusive IP for Google Stadia. I wouldn't be surprised by that, but I think that feels like a pretty fairly sound hunch. But you know, we'll see when Gamescom comes around if this is true or not. Because I think if anything, whatever this is going to be revealed at Gamescom. In my opinion, it probably could not be. Maybe at another time. People are thinking that maybe it could be. I doubt it's going to be a phone game. That's stupid. $19 million. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, it's probably an established game, a Series 2. I don't think it's Dead Rising. I think with the reception of Dead Rising 4, I think they're gonna pretty much put Dead Rising on ice for a bit, and then, you know, give some time to breathe out and then come back. That's at least what I'm guessing. That more than likely might happen. So, but it's pretty cool either way. I'm all for it, and yeah, in general, I'm all for it. Really, it's gonna be pretty damn cool. You know, pretty damn cool. Whatever it is, I know whatever it is that Capcom makes, I end up liking anyway. So I mean, I doubt I see this to be any different. But you know, I digress. I guess we'll keep on Capcom news. So, kind of in conjunction with that, Capcom is recruiting Japanese Resident Evil ambassadors to test the game currently in development. So if you're gonna have Resident Evil ambassadors to test the game, I find it hard to believe that it's not a Resident Evil related game. So that alone pretty much at least semi confirms that it's going to be some semi Resident Evil related game. You'd have to assume. What it is definitely the big question. Personally, what I would prefer or like it to be would definitely be Resident Evil Outbreak File 3. If they were able to swing it, because in terms of file 3, they said it was in, well, it was basically in pretty fair not recent development, but after File 2 came out, they were still developing or planning on releasing File 3, but I believe in terms of the disappointing sales of File 2, they canned it. But maybe they still have the assets. Maybe they can, I know they had a lot of planned scenarios pretty much planned for File 3. So that'd be pretty, man, that's a tongue twister. File 3. So they seem to have a lot of planned stuff for it. So, I mean, I would only think that they could probably do something with it, or, you know, maybe reinvent it in this day and age or something like that. But I totally would want Outbreak to come back in its, you know, same kind of general, you know, template, if you will, as the original Outbreaks, or maybe some continuation port, whatever. I totally would want it, man. Totally would want it. I'm seeing people talking about Biohazard Battle Royale. No, please don't. Please don't. And it feels like it's going to be Umbrella Corps all again. Operation Raccoon City all again. Where Operation Raccoon City was kind of somewhat okay, but not what we were wanting. But yeah, I totally would want Outbreak. I think it's time for that series to come back. It just was ahead of its time when it came out. I think in this day and age, I think it's gonna do way better than what it has, though. So I mean, I'm hopeful that that is gonna be what it is, but we'll see. We'll see. Some people are rumoring or thinking that it's Resident Evil 3. I find that hard to believe. I guess maybe if there's some multiplayer component to it specifically that they're testing out, maybe they could do something cool or fancy with it, but I don't think it would have the longevity that like an Outbreak would have, where it's purely focused on the multiplayer, rather than, you know, having it be as an add-on to a single player game. But I don't know. Either way, I probably would definitely play it and enjoy the hell out of it. I could tell you that much, but who knows? It's up in the air. It feels like, you know, at least for that. But pretty interesting news either way. I wish I was I want to be a Resident Evil ambassador. Come on, Capcom. You know, I'd be trying to promote, you know, Outbreak with the file servers, you know, back in the day. But come on, man. Come on, Capcom. I love you guys. I love you. I love Resident Evil. It's probably one of my favorite game series. Come on, Capcom. If you're Capcom, if you're listening to this podcast, I highly doubt you are. But come on, help a brother out. Okay, let me see your game real quick, and I'll tell you what you need to do, and I'll give you them sales that you're looking for. I'm not even gonna ask for anything in return, just a pat on the back and a free copy. You know, just look out for me, okay? You scratch your back, I scratch mine. Nope, that's not how it goes. You scratch my back, I scratch yours more, and then maybe I'll massage you too. Okay, Capcom. Come on, please. Capcom, please. Okay. So we'll check out the NPDs, which did come out this month. And I'm just gonna highlight some interesting details in terms of that. Software rankings, of course, probably the biggest appeal of the NPDs, to see what games are selling, what are people buying, so we'll go down the list. We'll go through all of them. They have 1 through 20 here for the best-selling titles of June 2019. This includes physical and digital sales. I'm surprised they're starting to include digital now. That's pretty great. Because, you know, I think it's a big, I guess, section to exclude from sales, since it's obviously not the most accurate anymore now that digital sales are becoming more mainstream and more just the prime in terms of, you know, sales. So in terms of the 20 best selling titles June 2019, so number 1 is Super Mario Maker 2. This one did not include digital sales. I guess it depends on the platform, so maybe they're not able to get that data from particular platforms in that respect. Number 2 is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Wow, that's actually pretty interesting. I'm surprised that it's selling like it is. I mean, I thought it would always be under the shadow of Mario Kart, but now I think it might have got a lot of people that used to play it back in the PlayStation days. I can see that now. Actually, the more I think about it, that actually makes sense. Number 3, Mortal Kombat 11. I mean, it's Mortal Kombat. I mean, it's just some things are just going to sell regardless, just by the name alone. And I think Mortal Kombat 11 is one of them. So, man, I still am befuddled to this day. Grand Theft Auto 5, number freaking 4. This game must have to have the highest streak of consistent top selling month to month, because it does not seem to, it may like shift here and there in terms of the top 10, but it's always there, like probably since 2013, which is when the 360 PS3 version came out, and we're in 2019, 6 years later, and it's still selling. That is crazy to me. I don't get it. I mean, I do kind of get it, because I guess apparently GTA Online is way bigger than, I guess, I was thinking it is, but you know, man, Grand Theft Auto, man, I guess, geez, that's crazy. It's like, and then what incentive does Rockstar have to release Grand Theft Auto 6 if Grand Theft Auto 5 is consistently in the top 10 still? Ah, man, that is fascinating to me. How is that possible? I don't get it. I'm kind of mad about it, but I mean, I'm not at the same time because it kind of deserves it because it's great. It's Grand Theft Auto. Oh, I digress. Minecraft number 5. It does not include, this one does not include PS4 and Xbox One digital sales, which probably would put it pretty, maybe higher than it is, I'm guessing. Smash Brothers Ultimate, number 6. Number 7, Marvel Spider-Man. I'm actually surprised by that. That's still hanging in there. NBA 2K19 number 8. Oh, there it is. Mario Kart 8 at number 8. Not including digital sales for that. And Days Gone. Wow. So even in the US, it's still hitting top 10. That's man. Bravo to Days Gone, man. Goes to show you, as long as you put zombies in the game, people are gonna buy it. Which I am included in that sad follower motif. Then 11, we got Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Number 12, Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar, man, they got the titles in there still. Number 13, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm curious if what sales Breath of the Wild, the announcement of 2 maybe spiked some sales for that. I still gotta beat that game, man. Ugh, first world problems, man. So many games, not enough time. But man, let me be like what years younger when I had all the time in the world. I'd be completing these, man. But 14, MLB 19, the show. 15, Black Ops 4 does not include PC digital sales. Okay. Still impressive. Division 2, number 16, not including PC digital sales there. Number 17, New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, not including digital sales. Mario is killing it, man. Got 3 titles in the top 20. Assassin's Creed Odyssey 18, Super Mario Party at 19, and God of War 2018 at the 20 spot. That's pretty impressive too, considering that it's a year-old game, and you know those types of games, single player, normally after people beat them and they're done with it. But I think maybe piggybacking off the game of the year, reception and stuff, possibly. I don't know, actually. I think in general it's just doing pretty good still. Maybe some of the sales I think I saw for that recently too, but still crazy. I'll touch on some of the top best-selling titles of the year to date for 2019. Mortal Kombat 11 at 1, Kingdom Hearts 3 at 2. Oh wow, that's interesting. It's at the top for the year, but isn't, at least in this current month. Division 2, Anthem. I'm surprised Anthem is still doing that well. It's number 4. That's crazy. Resident Evil 2, well deserved, 2019 version. Smash Bros. Ultimate, Days Gone. That's still surreal to me. Red Dead Redemption 2, MLB 19 the show, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. That is crazy, man. That is crazy. That's crazy. We'll do some let's do a little rapid fire. They do have it singled out by console. So for Xbox One, Mortal Kombat 11 at 1, Grand Theft Auto 5 at 2, Crash Team Racing 3, Red Dead Redemption 2 at 4, Minecraft at 5, PlayStation 4, Crash Team Racing at 1, Spider-Man at 2, MK11 at 3, Days Gone at 4, MLB The Show at 5, Nintendo Switch, Super Mario Maker 2, 1, Smash Brothers Ultimate at 2, Mario Kart 8 at 3, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at 4, Super Mario Bros. U at 5. Interesting stuff. This was credit to the man, the man himself, Matt Piscatella, who's always giving us these juicy MPD details, which is just I personally find fascinating, just to see, like, you know, a lot of the contrast from you know, reception to what people are actually buying, and, you know, kind of seeing that noticeable gap and things like that, which I think is pretty cool overall. So yeah, cool stuff, man. Love me some damn video games. I just love just the culture, just all this news, sales, goodness. And while I guess we're on the topic, we'll touch on some sales news. So down 13% from 1.1 billion in June 2018 as a whole in terms of sales overall. Hardware 235 million, down 33% from 350 million in June of last year. For PC and console software, 386 million, down 1% since June 2018. Accessories, 330 million, down 7% from 362 million in June of 2018. So not too drastically noticeable. I mean, clearly, you know, we're kind of on the cusp of, you know, the dawn of the new consoles rising. So that's clearly going to cause a huge, massive hike in terms of sales and everything from that standpoint. So I definitely could see that being a thing there. So all in all, pretty fascinating stuff. Love me some damn MPDs. I love me some damn MPDs. I'm down with MPD. Yeah, you know. All right, I didn't mean to do that. I did it though. I didn't mean to do it, but I did it. Does that justify me doing it? Probably not. So in streamer news, kind of off the cusp of the king of streaming himself, Ninja, moving over from Twitter. Not Twitter. I think there is streaming on Twitter though, that you can stream games exclusively on Twitter. Weirdly, who would want to do that? I don't know. Well, I guess maybe there's some exclusivity stuff, or kind of in a lesser extent of the acquisition deals with what Microsoft did with Ninja. But either way, so in terms of, I think a lot of people are curious about, like, how did it work out for Ninja going to Mixer? Apparently pretty well. 500,000 subscribers. I think that's way more than he had on Twitch. So I think that in of itself is good. But I think there is that minor caveat that for those 500,000 subscribers, that all of those were free for the limited time. I guess apparently to encourage people to, you know, subscribe to them, and then maybe after the trial's over, then they'll like actually subscribe to them. But we'll see how that actually pans out, or actually becomes what that becomes to be, or if that's going to be a significant loss of subscribers after that. Then also the Mixer app skyrocketed to number 1 as the most downloaded app on the iOS App Store. So all in all, it seems to be, you know, that money they gave Tyler Ninja Blevins seems to be being put to good use. So I mean, they pretty much are getting the result they want, I would assume, from what they did in terms of, you know, playing at a hardball and getting them, bringing them over to Mixer. So all in all, it seems to be working for him pretty damn well, I'd say. But yeah, so I think in terms of viewers, let's see, hit a peak of 250,000. That's the highest, I think, in terms of concurrent viewers, or no, subscribers. Has on Twitch, he currently has under 15,000 according to Twitch Tracker, and twice the number he had at his peak of 250,000 in March 2018. So it's important to note that, yeah, Mixer currently offering free subscription to the Ninja channel to welcome them to the site. It remains to be seen how many of us, yeah, exactly. Yeah, what I was saying that. Basically, they're complimentary subscriptions, so nobody has to pay anything to subscribe to them. So you can take those statistics with a grain of salt. But either way, that's at least a pretty good possibility in terms of, doing that. But yeah, so pretty good stuff for Ninja. Also piggybacking on that, because I love me some piggybacks. Ninja allegedly was paid $50 million in order to do this transition in terms of exclusivity from Twitch to Mixer. I'm not sure about that number, but I mean, it's not the craziest amount of money I've seen. I mean, he does have a lot of influence. So, I mean, that kind of would justify, his reach in terms of, influencing a lot of people to come over to the Mixer platform. So when you kind of think about it that way, that money seems to justify him coming over. So, I mean, I don't know in terms of accuracy of that, but 50 million, that seems a little unrealistic that Microsoft will willingly do that. But I mean, I don't know, I feel like Ninja, he could put up that pretty good stance in terms of requesting that much in order for him to go over to Mixer. So it's hard to say, really. I guess I could believe it, but at the same time, it's a little bit hard to believe. It seems like a bit much for that amount of money. But I mean, what do I know? Yeah, he don't even need all that money. He already got buku bucks anyway. But I mean, it probably is definitely maybe better than what Twitch is offering or offered him in terms of his general contract. So, I mean, who knows, really? I hear that Twitch has some very unfavorable contracts in terms of, streamer partnerships and stuff like that. So, if anything, maybe it was way better than Twitch in that respect. I'm still thinking about Twitch instantly taking his check mark. You're like, what? Oh, okay. All right. You're going to leave Mixer? Okay. You're going to leave from Mixer, huh? All right. Well, you're not verified anymore. Yeah, take that. Take that, Ninja. How are you going to succeed now? I just feel like there's just some random dude that's just like that he just want to be just all kinds of petty and just completely remove his verified check mark. I guess technically because he's not going to be on the platform anymore, it doesn't really matter, but still, I find that amusing either way. I'm curious if he ever just logs in just to kind of see what Twitch is like after going to Mixer. I don't know, but yeah, man. Interesting stuff, interesting things, interesting progress happening in terms of just gaming as a whole, man. I think in general, it's probably the biggest takeaway from pretty much all the news that came out today is just gaming is just becoming so much more mainstream and accepted now, and it's like being a legitimate business in so many avenues, and specifically from like a competitive standpoint. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's hard to believe. But at the same time, I do believe it because clearly people are starting to catch on to how great games are. Obviously, duh. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. But either way, man, that's pretty much all the news I have for you guys today. I guess we'll cover what I've been playing lately. Oh man, how can I forget? So pretty much earlier this week I was playing this pretty great game that's very sentimental to me personally, is Ninja Warriors again. At least in the US. I think it's called Ninja Saviors in Japan, I want to say. And good God, man, this is just greatness in so many levels. For those that may not know, Ninja Warriors was a game. Well, I think it originally started as an arcade game that you can play, obviously in the arcades. But then I think they ported the game and did a lot of changes for exclusively for the Super Nintendo. And that's the one I at least remember and have the attachment to the most, which is basically this game, but kind of semi remastered to an extent. And man, it is just great on so many levels. Just all the improvements, especially, from my frame of reference from the original game, is just so smart and worthwhile. And it just they all make sense in terms of the changes. And probably the biggest substantial one is finally they gave the game co-op. That was the one biggest, I guess, gripe I think a lot of people had with it on the Super Nintendo. Because it had two controllers and you can play on, it just seemed like, obviously, why couldn't you play with two people? It just wouldn't just make sense. But either way, it didn't have it, but now it does. So just all the nice little minute, additions they made to the game, just all overall just makes the experience that much greater, in my opinion. And just yeah, man, now you can juggle characters, which you couldn't really do in the first one. I don't even think you couldn't do it all. That's cool. So, if you have some co-op action going, excuse me, you can, juggle characters back and forth, at least what I was seeing in the trailers too. It's a bit harder to do in single player, but you can kind of finagle it depending on your character. So that's pretty cool. And just the overall experience, the remastered soundtrack was pretty enjoyable. I personally, being attached to the original soundtrack, I definitely want to get that one. I think you have to beat the game with one of the new characters in order to unlock the original soundtrack, which is totally fair. I'm totally going to do that. But yeah, with that being said, they did add two new characters as well, which is something they totally didn't have to do, but they totally did, and I'm very thankful for that. They got this one girl, I forgot her name, Yakasha, I want to say. But yeah, she just is, she looked kind of thick, but she a robot. So it's you kind of confused because she looked thick, but she a robot. So how does that work in your head? But I don't know. Maybe they thought about that in advance. I don't know. Either way, she has a pretty cool ability. At least I was messing with her, where she can use she has retractable arms, so she can extend her arms and grab dudes. It was pretty fun playing with her a little bit. I didn't play with her fully, but of course I play with my original character, at least my favorite, I'd say, from the original, which is Komoachi, I want to say. And he was pretty cool. He had the fangs on his arm. He could do the jumps and he could do the spin jumps and all that. That was pretty great. So, yeah, man, it's pretty cool. I like him. I like him a lot. I like the changes they made to him, now. So, to all the other characters in general, really, I was messing with them as well. And they seem to play pretty cool. I like the additions they got. So I plan to mess with them at some point too, in terms of, seeing how each character plays and then kind of going from there. So I purchased the game from the Japanese store because I think the game doesn't come out in the US and I think until later this month. I thought it was coming out universally at the same time, but I guess it was only coming out in Japan on the 25th of July-ish or something like that, 26th or 25th, one of those. But either way, yeah, so that's great, man. Great stuff. Yeah, I beat the whole game. Some of the bosses, man, they give you a fight for your money, man. But it's just so satisfying, man. Just picking up boxes, throwing it on people, and then they kind of chain into other people by getting hit, and you get a fair amount of Streets of Rage vibes to an extent in terms of just the physics of fighting people and stuff like that, but just all in all, it's a great experience. Just the music, the characters, the enemies, that all in all, I've been very pleased. It also has a cool classic CRT filter you can put on your TV to give you that, that nostalgic feeling of playing back on your CRT back in the day. All in all, man, it was just a great experience in terms of just being able to reminisce on the past generation of, games and stuff. So all in all, very satisfied with that game. I'm definitely excited to play some more. Then in terms with that, also still putting in time for Judgment. At some point I'm gonna beat that game, I swear. I'm just enthralled with doing a lot of the side stuff that you don't have to do to beat the game. I think the main game path is probably maybe 10 hours on average. That's usually what it is in terms of just the general Yakuza game. So I'm just taking my time with it. I'm absorbing pretty much everything within the game in terms of all the enjoyable side quests, and you can get girlfriends and stuff. I'm just messing with that because you get a lot of incentives for doing all that stuff too. So and then so many abilities that you got to buy, but in order to get the abilities you got to do all these anyway. So overall taking my time with it, but enjoying the time I am spending with it. So man, that's still pretty much where I've been at. Outside of that, I've been really playing much. Been messing with Overwatch a little bit, playing with some friends on there. That's been pretty great. Can't wait for the new Rogue Q, at least to be officially released on consoles. I was playing with it at least a little bit on PC in terms of the public test server, but that's going to be pretty great too. So I mean, all in all, man, some good gaming, man. Some good gaming that's been going on, man. I'm just amazed that Ninja Warriors came back. Now, hopefully, they at some time. I'm not sure how the rights are with Trade West or who currently owns the Double Dragon, but man, if they bring back Super Double Dragon, if they gave it the same treatment that they gave Ninja Warriors again, boy. Yeah, that'd be another instant buy, man. I swear, they need to keep these coming. These previously exclusive SNES games, porting them back to current gen consoles with some few tweaks here and there. I'm all for it. Keep doing that. I don't care. I'll give you all the money you want. Okay, I'll give you every single penny. I'll give you every single penny. I give it all. I give you all. I give it all to you. Why'd I turn into a creepy pimp? I give you all, girl. I give you all that money if you want it. I give it all to you. This is the creepy pimp on the corner. But I digress. But yeah, that's pretty much been it for me all this week. So I think I'm gonna end it there. Again, let me gotta take care of the house. So, in terms of where you can find me, you can find me on Twitter at aswitch, tweeting ignorant stuff, but I put some some decency in there too. So don't get it all wrong. All right, I'm not just ignorant, okay, all the time. All right, I got some sensibility as well. Thank you very much. Okay, back up off me. You don't know me like that. All right. I'm not sure why I got defensive there, but you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna be defensive all I want. Okay, you don't know me. Don't know why. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/aswitch. It's been a minute, but I promise I will be back on there at some point. It's just finding the right time to do so, okay? Bear with me. I guess I could say the same for youtube.com/aswitch, which is maybe the same story, but again, I am working on it. I'm gonna make my way back eventually. Also, maybe I'm gonna pose a question to you guys. Would you guys like to see me do this live? I'm not sure. Maybe there's a audience for that. But I don't know. I might try it at some point where I'll try recording it live on Twitch or something and see how it goes. And if not, you can just go back to the standard podcasting format, which is totally fine by me. Just curious either way. Also, if you have any questions for the show that you'd like me to answer on the show, feel free to submit any questions you have to aswitchtv@gmail.com as well. If you like to support the podcast, keep it going, keep the lights on, by all means, feel free to like, rate, and subscribe from your respective platforms, which at least currently at the time is Apple Podcast, Google Music, and Spotify. I'm planning to start pretty much bringing all these to YouTube as well. I know some people prefer to just listen to on YouTube sometimes also, so I'll try to appease some of those folks in addition to. So outside of that, that's pretty much it, guys. Of course, thanks for listening, greatly appreciated. And until next time,